Good evening, family. Welcome to Share Your Story Sundays. Thank you so much for your support of the Intentional Dads movement thus far, which is a divine assignment for me, a passion work. And I'm super excited to start Share Your Story Sundays because it is something that I feel like we all should do in order to encourage each other and to just really journey with each other through life. So I wanted to start today with my first bonus dad, Tommy Raines Sr., because he's been a wonderful presence, let me just say, in my life. And along with the rest of my bonus dads, and I'll share more about them in the weeks to come. But anyhow, today I figured I would just hop on and share with you guys just one story. I have plenty of stories that I could share, but one story that really changed my life. As I've shared in different posts, I do not know who my biological father is, but I've been blessed with a host of bonus dads, men who had their own families, but they decided to invest in me as their daughter, and I've been tremendously blessed by it. But my first bonus dad, Tommy Rain, he at the age of, I believe he was 17, maybe going on 18, was with my mom, and he was also probably with let me just say he was probably with other people too. Well, definitely I do know he was. So anyhow, he was young, and he found out my mom was pregnant and decided to actually take me home with him and his family. I spent a lot of time with my Rain side of the family, and they took me in, and we later learned that I was not his biological child, but he never stopped his relationship with me. He always made sure that I was a part of his family, and he had a growing family, a wonderful wife, and additional children, my brother little Tommy and my little sister Tania and Trey, my little brother Trey. Anyhow, he had a growing family, but still found time to invest in me, and always made sure that I felt that I was special to him. So what I wanted to share with you that I thought was a wonderful story to actually share, because I think that if you could take something away from the story, which I believe you will be able to really incorporate into your own life or be mindful of, that is going to be more than more than enough, right, for this investment of time. So anyhow, so again, I have a ton of stories from him driving me on his motorcycle across through Lake City, and then through the University District and Mount Lake, and he just anyway going fishing, and just a ton of things I can share. But the particular story that I wanted to share with you guys, it doesn't seem like all super positive, but it is something that it again touched my life at that moment, and continued to impact me. So there was a time, I believe I was going to Eckstein Middle School at the time, and I had just finished taking pictures and got pictures back. And my dad at the time, I believed he lived in West Seattle. And so he had took the bus from West Seattle all the way to Lake City. And if you're from the Seattle area, you know the distance. But anyway, it was quite a journey. Anyway, he caught the bus. Definitely was not one bus, but he caught several buses, and he came out to get some pictures from me, so that he always enjoyed getting pictures from me. And so he came out there, and for whatever reason, when he got there, he and my mom, they were fine for about 2.5 seconds. And then my mom, if you know my mom, you would know that she was unapologetically her, and if you got on her nerves, or if something happened, you didn't even have to do anything. She would actually let you know, or possibly even put you out. So in this instance, my mom put my dad out. I think he had only been there for like 10 minutes, and my dad was not confrontational, but my mom could give you the business sometimes. And anyhow, I just know that I had went and got him my pictures, and I was super excited to give it to him, and he took my pictures, and then I had to go back to get something else. And when I came back, I just heard a lot of back and forth. Long story short, I came back out to give him something else that I was super excited to give to him, and he was gone. And I asked my mom where he went, and my mom was like, anyway, bottom line, she's like, I put him out. And again, he probably did not do anything. And then I noticed that the pictures I had given to him were still on the counter, and I asked why didn't he take his pictures, and she said she took them back. And she said, I already let him know that he, wasn't your dad, and he didn't have to keep coming back out here. Now, my mom was probably just in the mood because she and my dad were really friends. And so she was just probably tripping, to say the least. Anyway, I just remember running out the house because I knew I couldn't really give my mom the business back because she would have busted me in the head. And so I ran after my dad and went to the bus stop, and he was there. And I just remember sitting at the bus stop with him. I had to be about, 12 maybe? 11, 12 anyway. Sitting at the bus stop. And I would say I was probably older, more mature for my age because I had went through some things. And I'll share other parts of my story with you guys. A lot of things that weren't ideal. But I did have more of what I felt was an adult conversation with him. And I asked my dad straightforward. I said, Dad, you and I both know that I'm not your daughter. So why do you keep going through this stuff with my mom in order to come see me? And all I remember him doing was looking me in my eyes, kind of with the look of vulnerability. And he said, you are my daughter. And me, being young, I said, Dad, for real, you and I both know I'm not. I mean, I know the conversations that take place, but I know I'm not your daughter. And it's okay. I appreciate you trying to make me feel good about this. And he looked at me and said, you are my daughter. And he looked at me with such a look of, you're my daughter, and we're not having this conversation again. And it made me feel like he would do anything to make sure that I understood that I belonged to him. And he would get put out 1,000 times to come get a picture for me. He would go through a whole bunch of drama just to just come see me and let me know that he wanted to be present. And the reason why that impacted me is because he made me feel like, wow, I'm not even his biological child, but he feels that I'm special enough to go through all of that, come long distances to come see me. And so that made me want to try harder to go see him and to really do whatever I could to make sure our relationship was maintained. And up until he passed away, I would travel up to Seattle as often as I could, and we would go on dates, typically to Taco Time or Dick's or Ivar's or Baskin, or probably all of them, and within the week, and to the movies and different things like that. But I was very intentional because what he taught me was that he was a man of intention. And even though he and I both knew he was not my biological father, he was my dad. And anyway, I just wanted to share that because I think that men, if you're out there, I just want to encourage you that some situations aren't ideal, whether it is something that is between you and the mother or some situation that doesn't allow you to go and see your children that often. But just your effort alone will let them know that you are trying, and it will make them feel like they mean the world to you. And you don't have to come with anything but just excitement or enthusiasm to want to see them. And so and actually pressing forward, especially if it's not an ideal situation, whether you know it or not, the kids will know that. And then of course, if it's something with, again, if the mother is great and it's not a situation, then make sure you maintain that healthy relationship in order to do what needs to be done to make that child feel like they are important And because again, it pays off. I have been very secure in myself as a woman, as a friend to males. Again, it's given me a different level of security and confidence and vulnerability and respect for men in general. So anyway, that's my story today. And I just I've told my dad 1,000 times that I appreciated him for doing that. And it meant the world to me because again, it meant that I was worth every argument, every incident of getting put out, but let back in. My mom would always like let him back in or be friends with him again. But the point is he could have just said, I'm done with this. She's not mine anyway, but he did not. And so I carried that with me. And again, even if you have a bonus child that you could actually invest in, that doesn't mean that you have to let go of your current family, because my dad had his family and they invited me in to their family as well. So that meant a lot to me as well. So anyhow, that's all I have. I know we're all probably trying to get ready for the BET Awards, so I'll wrap it up. But tell me if anything resonates with you. Let me know. If there's something you want to hear about on here, let me know. But my exciting news is that I am going to be, my husband just walked in, sorry. But so I am in the process of finalizing really my new book, or my first book. And the book is called Intentional Dads: Insight on the Powerful Presence of Biological and Bonus Dads. And so I've never written a book before. This is my first time. And so I'll journey with you guys, but I think you guys, I'll give you updates about how it's going and what I'm learning along the way. But the awesome thing is that I've had an opportunity to interview tons of men that have given me insight about fatherhood and their journey. So I look forward to sharing that information with you guys too. Anyway, more to come. I'll continue to share. I hope you guys do the same. You all have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.